Good evening, everyone. This is Cinnamon Noir.
And this is the Ramen Shaman.
And welcome back to another wonderful episode of Icarus Proudbottom's Wonderful World of Typing. Weekly. We'll be starting very shortly here. We just need this owl to pop into his clothes.
It's a bit difficult to put them on without opposable thumbs. Give him time.
How did he get under them? That's what I'm wondering. He got under his clothes with a crown on his head.
Presumably with outside help.
But there's no one around for miles. Look at it. It's just an empty, bleak expanse of blackness. Why is he looking back and forth? It's all so suspicious. Why is the number stuck on 77? Oh, there it goes.
You sound like a slightly unhinged conspiracy theorist there.
Well, in many ways, Greg, I am. This thing was based on Twin Peaks, you know. There's me just hiding my mouse cursor. You know, I don't think I quite realized when I initially put this up just how long this loading screen was. I probably should have found a way to expedite it.
Probably. Oh well.
These things get longer and longer as they go on. You know, there's more content, so... The last episode is 300 hours long. That's a lie. Once again, I have a normal keyboard.
I was gonna say,
because
I'm pretty impressed.
Because I live in the U.S., the normalest country on Earth.
Absolutely.
So here we are in episode 4. Buckle up. There's going to be some rough typing.
Proverbial seatbelt.
So for a minute you think you're going to get to skip the recap, but no such luck. There's always a recap. Last time on Icarus Proudbottom's World of Typing Weekly, Mark 22, with the help of the mysterious Spectre, spelled the Canadian/James Bond way, was able to reboot after being attacked by Kelso. Apollo, Jerry, and Lucida shared their stories, wrote an amazing eulogy for Icarus, and pledged to find Kelso. And Fez.
Side note, I believe Mass Effect uses that spelling as well.
Really? That's interesting. Well,
which makes sense since BioWare is Canadian.
Oh, I didn't know that. I was going to say French. I was thinking of Ubisoft. Now, why would I confuse BioWare with Ubisoft?
Probably not for good reasons.
Oh, I think they're very good reasons, but they're not reasons that bespeak anything good.
They used to be better.
So miraculously, Mark 22 is back. He doesn't remember how he got woken up, which is a little strange. I guess those two halves of his memory are kept separate. So they can't find Kelso. But there's one more thing Mark 22 is worried about. Jerry seems to know what it is.
Oh?
And apparently we do too. So has it occurred to you that we haven't even looked at Icarus yet?
I kind of thought we had, but I guess not.
Nope. Apparently they have a basement morgue. Jerry just took him down there and assumed no one would want to look at the body.
Because that's not important for anything.
Yeah, it's not suspicious at all. And so Jerry will lead us downstairs to the basement morgue. An important feature in every one of your better households. Don't settle for anything less. Ah yes, here we are. The resting place of Typula.
Come back with your keyboard or on it.
With your keyboard on you.
True.
How did the keyboard get down there anyway? Is that the same bloody keyboard?
Boromir's sword and shield.
Yeah, keyboard and a rose. I don't know why Icarus needs the rose. Maybe he's fond of flamenco dancing.
Oh. While typing.
Aren't we all?
Which is pretty goddamn impressive.
There's no Icarus. And instead we have this ridiculous Saturday morning cartoon bullcrap. Look within your heart.
Alright, Nazi, we're gonna dissect you. Vivisect, actually.
Yuck. I don't think it works that way. It's sort of goose that laid the golden egg. The heart has to be alive to work. Then the other members of the group were like, you know what, I'm willing to take the chance.
True.
Never liked Mati.
Although I suspect they could just disassemble his ring.
Those rings are magic, Greg. It's not like they have technology in them. If you took them apart, they'd just be like gems.
True.
So Mark 22 is suspicious here. How on earth would Jerry, who's an owl, carry an entire body downstairs? And is he an African owl or a European owl? So where is the body? Is the question. Is it in the box? If not, what is in the box? What's in the box?
What's in the fucking box? Oh god. If this turns into 7.
No, it won't turn into 7. There's only 5. Do you ever wonder what would happen if they did like a series of movies based on the same style as 7? Like 1 with a 1 in the middle of it, 5 with a 5 in the middle.
9?
They did do that. And the best part is they wouldn't all be mysteries. They'd all be a different genre.
I was disappointed by the movie 9, I'm gonna be honest.
I never saw it. But I was still disappointed.
Art style was freaking gorgeous. The writing was mediocre.
Yeah. Anyway, so they saw Jerry bring the body down here. So he must have done it. That means only one thing. And I don't know what it is. Ooh. How does a body move itself?
Or possibly both.
Oh, ye gods. For gods.
I mean, you could ask Romeo and Juliet about that.
Mm-hmm.
Though apparently Romeo himself took a little too long to figure it out.
Yeah. Check his pulse, Romeo. Her pulse. Okay, one more question how to clear this up. So what is Jerry? I mean, besides an American Indian spirit animal, we all know that.
How would you describe yourself? Sounds like an interview question, though.
Yes. I'm a very adaptable American Indian spirit animal. I get along well with other owls.
What would you say your greatest strength is?
So, Greg, I'm going to tell you right now, you were right. Remember that one description we saw earlier? That one clue? Trust not the pygmy?
Uh-huh.
What species of owl is Jerry, specifically?
Oh, of course, a pygmy owl.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I figured that was kind of obvious.
He's a northern pygmy. So he was lying.
Of course, I'd completely forgotten about that trust not the pygmy thing.
Yeah, that's kind of the beauty of this game. You figure everything out in advance, but then you forget it by the time you get to it. It's brilliant. It's flawless. So I don't know why Mark 22 expects them to know what it is. No one else was in the room when he saw it except for the player.
True.
Maybe since they said they checked the room after he left, but you'll find out later that they actually couldn't have seen it. In fact, they're not even seeing the clue that's right in front of us right now.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. So that leaves the question, who wrote that clue? Any idea?
Icarus himself?
Hmm.
He's not actually dead? I mean, that was kind of what I was guessing.
If he wasn't dead, why would he want to leave clues about it? Wouldn't he want to get away with not being dead? No, most people think it's Kelso. Kelso, after all, kept talking about knowing the truth that no one else seemed to know. Jerry denies the validity of the question. Never trust an IT guy. So once again, for like the third freaking time, we have to find Kelso. This is worse than Clue the movie in terms of giving us the runaround. Oh. Shoot. It turned out unreadable again.
Mark 22, can you hear me? Let's all just do it anyways.
I'd like to say that this gave an air of mystery to it, but actually it just gives it an air of
I now
incompetence.
understand. I can sort of read this.
So I'm going to explain things in simple terms, as if you were a baby or an idiot. But you are if you seriously buy this crap. Sick burn. This guy. Alright, I'm going to demystify the whole thing now, so pay careful attention. I gotta do this quickly. There is no time. And if you remember, we saw that earlier in the clock. There is no time. What does it mean? What does it mean? My dad has a truck logo that's just Dr. Tran peeing on something. I think it's on another truck logo. On another truck logo. So,
oh lord.
Let me give you the upshot. This guy tries to explain what's going on. However, Mark 22 leads him astray with this idea of that there is no time thing. So much so that he runs out of time and is unable to tell him what's happening.
Oh lord.
He only has time to say 3 more words.
Great.
And he uses those 3 words to say poop butts lol.
I mean, which is more in keeping with the original game from what I've heard.
Yeah, no kidding. Have you looked into that, by the way, or are you only hearing this from me?
I'm only hearing it from you. I'm taking your word for it.
You can try it if you like. I mean, it'll definitely give you some interesting insight into how these guys think.
As with original South Park, I'm taking your word on this.
Yeah, I guess that's a good idea. So, once again, Jerry has hidden something from us, possibly without even realizing it. So not only did he lie about who he was, there's something about Kelso he hasn't told us. He's a Smegmarian.
Ew.
Don't worry, it's nothing like that. So he's a slug, we already knew that. But there's something important. There's something about Smegmarians, which sounds like the worst movie ever.
That would be less attractive than Cameron Diaz.
Ugh. There's many things less attractive than Cameron Diaz. Anyway, enough hyping up celebrities. So Mark 22, with his not lame bionic eyes, his amazing robot vision, can see Kelso because Kelso is able to camouflage himself. That's why people didn't find him earlier. He was in this storage room the whole time, hiding. So that removes his alibi. Remember earlier, Jerry said that he didn't think Kelso could have done the murder because no one saw him in the storage room before or after it happened.
Now I'm reminded of Steve Buscemi's character from Monsters, Inc.
Mm-hmm. He's actually very similar. For instance, he's really obnoxious. I was always ashamed watching that movie because I really like Steve Buscemi, and I don't like seeing him have to play an asshole. Then again, that's what he did in Reservoir Dogs.
True. Now, I've since imagined. The best part is he's actually is a kind of pinkish color in Monsters, Inc.
Huh.
Well, he's more purple, but I mean.
Yeah, I thought he was purple. He wanted to be Mr.
Still,
Purple.
you know.
Greg, he wanted to be Mr. Purple.
Oh,
this
God.
explains everything.
It's brilliant.
Oh my God, if they did that deliberately. Pixar is constantly getting me with things like this. It took me a decade to figure out that No Manna Santa Island was a pun.
Yeah.
From The Incredibles. Oh my God.
Yep.
They're brilliant and annoying.
Probably did.
Okay, let's get back to the game. We've gotten very distracted. So Mark 22 is finally able to interrogate Kelso. And they spell concisely wrong. It's not a word people use very often, I understand. No one's perfect. Look at all the mistakes I make typing. So, Kelso denies killing Icarus Proudbottom, but of course everyone's done that so far.
You want answers?
I think I'm entitled to them.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth!
I'm Jack Nicholson. He doesn't actually say that. I wish just once in a movie he did say that. So, Kelso saw everything that happened. Remember, he was in the tech room. So he can tell us what happened.
Which raises the question why he didn't speak up before.
Pay close attention to this. Notice anything interesting about this sentence?
Directly involved.
Nope, it's another one.
The supposed murder.
Were you directly involved in the supposed murder of Icarus Proudbottom? Oh yes, my green friend, as deliberate as inclusions get. And that's very deliberate. So finally, what happened? You should have asked this first, but in case you haven't noticed, Mark 22 has kind of a problem with beating around the bush.
Yeah. He reminds me of Yahtzee Crowshaw's description of Cole Phelps from...
Yes, he actually is a little bit like Cole Phelps.
Especially, well, the joke that Cole was, like, essentially a humanoid robot.
Yep, and also a goy mofo.
A goy motherfucker.
Remember that one? That's the best line in the whole game. After you play 40 minutes and you might as well quit, because it goes all downhill from there.
Richard Gere in video game history, man.
So anyway, it turns out Icarus had a secret that he wanted to hide, and it's related to the International Typing Council. Jerry and Kelso know about it, but no one else does. So, what we're gonna... Oh. Okay, my heart was pounding the first time I played this when that happened. But no one gets killed, just a tranquilizer dart to the chest. And people in this have a serious problem with chatting about random things while they're passing out instead of saying what they're supposed to. Quit talking, you doof. I like to imagine that said in a Canadian accent.
Friggin' hose it! I can't do a Canadian accent to save my life.
So, who could that have been just now? In fact, who turned off the lights? Because no one's in the tech center.
Hey, who turned off the lights? Oh.
But when he comes in here, he sees that the lights didn't go off in this room. At least according to everybody else. And why would they all lie unless they were all in on it together? Assuming they weren't, you could assume that the lights in the whole place might not have gone out. Maybe it was just the lights in that one room. If so, then there must have been someone in that room while they were talking with Kelso. But who could it be? Yeah, some roller coaster. I think I'll go to a different theme park next time. So we're going to have one last little recap before Mark 22 explains everything. He already thinks he knows what's happened.
This will most likely be my final.
Yep. Those could be last words, Mark 22.
Indeed.
So he thinks that everyone he's talked to is innocent. And he thinks there's still one person they haven't found.
The protagonist?
You mean the player? Well, the player's been helping all this time.
That would be a slightly bizarre tomato in the mirror type thing.
It wouldn't really work. Everyone's been talking to the player this whole time. Remember,
do they demand capitalization for these?
No, they don't, actually. I wondered if you were going to say that. Not only do they not demand capitalization, but you don't need to hold the shift key to do things like exclamation points and question marks. So actually, you can just type like a maniac. I don't, because I was taught right. My mama raised me to type the proper way. But actually, though, during the code section of the original game, you do have to type in things correctly. So like to get the curly brackets, you do need to hold down shift.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's a little weird. So, sorry, Mark 22 is now talking about who knocked Kelso out. Kelso could have done it himself, which would be quite a strange con, but the point is, whoever used that dart didn't want Icarus' secret to be revealed, which, frankly, kind of gives the whole game away. But, I think you know what's happening, Greg. You figured it out earlier. I'm just going to tell you right now. And the only reason that I am, let us say, spoiling this twist is because there is yet another twist, which is even more deep and interesting. And
He's
tune
faking
in
his
next
own
week.
death, and he's trying to... Because he's trying to get out of whatever scandals he was implicated in.
Because he wants to send Apollo to prison because Apollo killed his sister. No, that doesn't happen. I think that's the plot of For a Few Dollars More, actually. Oh, look inside your heart. Like your heart gauge, maybe?
Holy shit, that's some freaking Undertale shit right there.
I know. Also, Icarus has freaking big eyes.
This does seem like the bizarre love child of Mavis, Beacon, LA Noir, and Undertale.
I would play that game. Heck, I'm playing it.
Yeah.
So, everything is coming together. The biggest twist has been revealed, but there are still some big ones coming up. In fact, I shouldn't have even said the biggest twist is revealed, because there's one that's bigger.
Ooh.
And I'm not going to be specific about that, because I'm trying to
Intriguing.
cause suspense, you know? Tension, drama, murder, tension, suspense.
Well, yeah, we theoretically have an audience.
Entirely theoretically, Greg. Good evening, theoretical
point.
audience.
And now it's time to sign off. Goodbye.
Goodbye.